What's up guys, CJ here and welcome back to another all-new Hybrid News Now. Huge news today. First up, the villain or villains of the Flash standalone film potentially revealed, then a surprising confirmation for FX's new series Legion, and finally a cool look at what might have been for Captain America Civil War. In today's top story though, the villains for the Flash movie might have just been revealed. This comes to us straight from El Mayimbe himself, Humberto Gonzalez, who of course is now working over at major Hollywood trade journal The Wrap while still running his own site, Heroic Hollywood. On a Periscope this afternoon, Mayimbe revealed that the villains for Rick Famuyiwa's upcoming Flash standalone film starring Ezra Miller will be none other than the infamous Rogues. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Rogues in the comics are a supervillain team comprised of some of the Flash's most iconic, if unsuccessful, adversaries. The original lineup from the 1960s featured Captain Cold, Heatwave, the Mirror Master, Weather Wizard, the Trickster, the Top, Pied Piper, and Captain Boomerang, in a roster that's formed and disbanded and reformed time and time again in their long-running battle against the fastest man alive. And personally, if I can throw a little bit of my opinion in here, I think this is a stellar choice for the movie in terms of villains. Believe me, I want to see how they pull off Reverse Flash on the big screen too, and maybe he'll be set up in this movie, but I personally think the Rogues are much better starting point villains for a few reasons. First and foremost, if rumors that they were struggling to differentiate this movie from the popular TV show are true, then this would be a great way to set themselves apart. I mean, think about it. While we've seen a lot of those villains on the small screen already, they still haven't fully formed as the Rogues just yet. Secondly, the inherent goofiness of some of these characters meshes perfectly with the lighter tone this movie is reportedly going for. I mean, come on, even if you don't have, say, the Top or the Trickster, you still got guys like Pied Piper, or Weather Wizard, or Mirror Master, or even Captain Boomerang, who we've already seen. That's all part of what makes the Rogues, well, the Rogues, and so iconic in their own right. They're not as recognizable as Batman's villains, or Superman's, or hell, probably even Wonder Woman's. They're just a bunch of colorfully dressed, fairly small-time, relatively unambitious crooks who have all come together because of the Flash. It's honestly kind of endearing, and I would love it if this is the route they go for the movie. But sound off in the comment section down below and let me know what you think of the Rogues as the potential villains in the Flash movie. Moving right along to our next story of the day, let's talk Legion. For those of you that may not have heard of the upcoming show, it follows David Haller, a schizophrenic mental patient whose multiple personalities each possess a different mutant ability. Thus, Legion. Get it? Well, in the comics, Haller's connection to the X-Men as a whole is that he's actually the son of Professor X, Charles Xavier. But even with that comic connection, the word as early as the show's announcement was that this series would not be connected to Fox's X-Men movie franchise. That seemed to be confirmed as recently as last month, when showrunner Noah Hawley sat down for an interview with HitFix and told them that the show was not in the same continuity as the movies. Well, it looks like that might not be the case after all. At the Edinburgh Television Festival earlier today, Bryan Singer himself, the man behind the X-Men film franchise and executive producer on this new show, said Legion is in fact part of the X-Men movie universe. He followed up that confirmation by clarifying that you wouldn't know for sure one way or the other by just watching the show, and that it could exist entirely on its own, so it doesn't seem like there are any overt references to the movies in the series so far. That might be why Hawley doesn't consider it to be part of the same continuity, because he didn't really have to do any legwork to reference the movies in making the show. So unfortunately for any Legion fans out there, it doesn't seem like they're going to be playing up his connection to Professor X, at least in this first season. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section down below, but in our last story, a look at what might have been for Captain America Civil War. In an interview with comicbook.com, director Joe Russo revealed that another character almost made it into the movie, while a popular Spider-Man story beat was also in consideration. It's hard to believe the already crowded film almost included even more, but at one point, believe it or not, it did, with longtime Hulk nemesis Red Hulk and Peter Parker's famous Iron Spider suit from the original comic book storyline almost making the cut. General Thaddeus Ross, the alter ego of the Red Hulk, did appear in the film, played by William Hurt, who reprised his role from 2008's The Incredible Hulk. But in the film, he was merely the Secretary of State, the champion and driving force behind the Sokovia Accords, and not another super being. Russo said that Ross was always part of their plans as the government authority figure, but that adding in the Red Hulk would have meant adding in that entire backstory, and that might have upset the film's balance. As for the Iron Spider, all Russo would say was that it was considered at one point, maybe signaling that it wasn't quite considered as heavily as Red Hulk was. The Iron Spider suit burst onto the scene in the original Civil War storyline from 2006 as a gift from Tony to Peter, but while we still got the Stark upgrading the Spider-Man suit plot point, that gave us Spidey's iconic red and blue suit and not the Stark signature burgundy and gold. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and make this the comment question of the day. Would you have liked to see the Red Hulk and the Iron Spider suit in the movie, or would they have just overstuffed the film? That's going to do it for today's HNN though. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like if you like what you saw, subscribe for more great content every single day, and consider supporting us on Patreon for access to all sorts of exclusive goodies. Well, let's try something new. If there's ever a news story or something you want me to talk about in an HNN, leave it in the comment section down below or tweet me at CJ Pascal or the channel at hybridnetwork_. You see them right there. Signing off, this is CJ, and I'll see you next time.